welcome back, Roger. And all the players after a long live tennis career, they make some tennis academy. Do you think to make some tennis academy in the future?
I haven't really thought about it yet. You know, I've been approached, obviously, and but at the moment it's you know, trying to grow my foundation, trying to play good tennis, you know, spend quality time with my family, and then we go from there. You know, I'm sure you start thinking more and more about what's coming. So, you know, as you slow down in your tennis life, but it's not happening quite yet. So who knows? Maybe one day, but I have no plans quite yet.
Roger, do you still get the same sense of excitement and anticipation at the start of the year as you did 5-10 years ago?
Yeah, I guess so. I've never really looked at the season as a full stop, full start again. You know, for me, it's somewhat continuous. You know, but it's true that the points sort of start from zero. The prize money starts from zero, if you like. You know, and off you go again into a new season. And there's always new stories, something different written, something different said. And I think that's the exciting part, you know, after I always enjoy the end of the season, you know, on our tour, even though for some they don't quite understand that we still play tennis after the US Open, which for me is, I don't quite understand, because I think the year end is really fascinating and interesting, and we're playing in some wonderful places. But yeah, I do get excited for you know, playing here in the Middle East, and then going on and playing in Australia, where they're so eager and excited to see tennis come back around. You know, we're there for 2-3 weeks, so it's always a good time of the year.
Roger, you just mentioned you did something special to upstage Rafa, but you've got so used to seeing Roger Federer do some incredibly special things over the 7-8 years. Is it tough keeping up with the expectations?
No, not really. I mean, I look at the long term, you know, so I'm not driven by short-term success, even though obviously it's important for my confidence trying to win matches and tournaments. But I don't get down on myself, because I know I'm very professional. I'm doing the right things, and it's important to always try to keep on improving. Second guess yourself, even in the best of times. That's something I did really early in my career as well. And sure, I have incredible high goals myself, and huge expectations from, you know, media, fans, tournaments, and so forth, and that can weigh on you. But I think I've handled it well over the years, and today I can enjoy that pressure more than maybe when I was coming up and trying to make a breakthrough, which I thought was really difficult to manage, because everybody's telling you you're going to be the next Pete Sampras and you have 0 Grand Slams, and he's got 14, so it's not quite fair. And so I'm past that stage now, where yeah, it doesn't really affect me much what's written and said.
Roger, after you engaged the new coach Paul, we have seen and noticed that a better performance. What was the fundamental points you have focused on Paul in your game?
Well, I mean, I think there's two things here to the story. I mean, the decision to work with Paul wasn't based on some panic reaction or anything. It was based on, you know, having a different input from the outside, because it was Severin Luthi, my Davis Cup captain and my coach, who was traveling with me for 3 years and still is. He was on the inside, and I think it was just important to also get an outside perspective for a change for both of us. And it's been working really well. We all get along really well. There's been harmony in the team, which is obviously key for good success, which is important for me in the team to have on a daily basis. Like I said before, I think I really lacked matches. All the way from Australia was a long infection I had afterwards, missing Dubai, and then going to Indian Wells and Miami, not playing a lot of tennis there. All of a sudden I found myself midway through the clay court season, and it's hard then all of a sudden just to turn it on and play your best tennis when you really want to. I ran into Berdych and Sterling, who played really well against me in Paris and Wimbledon, and I knew that when the hardcourt season came around that I was going to play much better. I had a great build-up in Switzerland after Wimbledon, which I think was key. This is also the first time Paul joined, so the timing was really good for both of us. I was eager, motivated, really hungry to work hard and hear something different for a change. And things went well, you know. And then I started off well in Toronto and Cincinnati, and from then on it was obviously clear for me that I was going to finish strong this season. And it's been fun working with him, and also Severin, just having the trio, the three of us trying to come up with the best possible game plan, trying to make it fun for me on the tennis court. And, it's been working, so I'm really happy.
Have you been in touch with Tiger Woods of late? And you know, he's actually been struggling, you know, to get back to form. So how do you think? I mean, how difficult it is mentally, you know, to sort of get back? Any advice you'd like to give him?
Well, if I do give him advice, it's not for you guys, but I don't think he needs much advice when it comes to winning. He's had more success than me, you know. As a golfer, he's been there longer, and he's done amazing things that no other golfer has done before. But he's still a good friend of mine, and it doesn't matter what happened. And well, happy to see him hopefully soon again. And I really hope he gets back on winning ways again. You know, as a golfer, it would be wonderful to see him dominate the game of golf again. But I think golf's still healthy also without Tiger. But obviously he has a huge impact on the game and on many fans. So I hope to see him back at the top again very soon.
Roger, most of the people define you as the most elegant player of all times. Does that define you? Do you think your game is about elegance and beauty that makes you win?
Yeah, I mean, elegant and beauty is nice, but it doesn't really give you much success. Yeah. So I'd rather be successful and play ugly tennis than play beautiful and not win. Thank God I got a bit of both, you know. So obviously very lucky in this regard. I don't know how it all came together. I just think I had always a very fluid tennis motion, and then through working really hard on my physical, you know, part of tennis, I was able to move really in a way that maybe is somewhat nice to look at, and my technique was always really good, and I think that they both kind of matched and found each other, and all of a sudden I had this wonderful game, and obviously I'm very thankful to it, but because I have that fluid motion and movement and everything, it also made things difficult for me, because I sometimes had the feeling I had quite a few options to hit different shots at different times, and sometimes the simple way is the better way, and that took me quite some time to understand actually. That simple is better at times, and so that's maybe why I didn't have success at 17 years old on the big stage, like maybe Hewitt and Safin and maybe even Roddick and so forth. It took me a bit longer to kind of find my game and, you know, get my movement together with the technique and my mental strengths all together in line. And once I got that going, all of a sudden, success came in a big way. But sure, I'm happy that fans love my game, and I'm so well liked around the world with the one hand and backhand, which is somewhat unique, I guess, today. It's obviously very nice.
If you had one single piece of advice that you had to give to a child who's working towards being somebody like you, or being a future tennis star, what would that be? Just one piece of advice.
Well, I mean, I guess in the beginning it's fun. It's not supposed to be, you know, something you have to do. I mean, I did play tennis, so one day I could sit in front of you guys. That wasn't really my goal. It's sort of a dream, you know, every player chases, maybe trying to be like someone else, or someone you admire or idolize or look up to, and if you don't have those guys, or maybe for another sport, you know, just try and do something that's fun. Next thing you know is like people tell you you're talented, and from then on you have maybe good coaching, great support from your family, good camaraderie in practice, and it all starts from there. I used to hit, you know, thousands of tennis balls against the cupboard at home, against the garage door of my grandparents, against the wall at the tennis club where I didn't have a hitting partner, and that was fun for me to do. You know, it sounds boring, but it's fun. You can make it fun, and that's what it's supposed to be when you're younger. Then it gets a bit more serious, a bit more competitive, and you get into that whole thing. But that's all the in life.
Regarding the last question, there was a tennis clinic with you today, the Abu Dhabi tennis clinic, and there were a few kids. What was your experience playing with them, and do you see any future Federers in the children that play today?
No future Rafael and Rogers and stuff, but because they could be playing us, you know, and driving us out of the game sooner than we want to. No, I'm kidding. It would be great, you know, having talent coming out of the UAE. I always enjoy doing kids clinics. We did one today. I mean, for 2 hours is a long time. Able to interact with many of the kids, play with many of the kids, and then that obviously trickles down to their friends and families and into the community. I think it's a great thing. We also had kids clinics during the Roger Federer Foundation match, and also the Rafa Nadal Foundation match in Madrid. So we were able really to, you know, get in contact with many kids recently, which I think is obviously a thing I like doing in the off season and inspiring many of the kids. And if there's a talent coming out, that'd be great. And if he then says in 15 years that the defining moment for him was being able to play with me at a kids' clinic, that's a great thing, because I never had that chance till later on in